and welcome to another episode of Motors for the Masses. Now we are here today on this glorious November day with a 2016/17 Vauxhall Corsa. This particular model is the Vauxhall Corsa 1.4. Now that means it has 88 brake horsepower and 130 pounds-foot of torque. The CO2s come out at 137, which means the tax is £130 a year. However, 0 to 60 times, 13.9, with a top speed of an eye-watering 106 miles an hour. Now once you're inside, it's actually pretty nice. You've got a nice display screen here and it's very black and graphite, very sleek and actually pretty cool. This particular car has the 6-speed automatic Tiptronic gearbox, which makes it smooth but obviously not as quick as the manual. However, when you start the car, very quiet. Now, sitting in these seats, they're not actually as comfortable as they look. You do have these side supports here, but it doesn't inspire you to have enough confidence that you can go around a corner quickly and stay in the seat. And it makes you think that on a long journey, you're probably going to end up with a bit of a backache. Now you do have this very technical looking multifunction steering wheel, which does have telephone, the cruise control and the functions for the stereo. Now coming to this stereo, like I said before, it is a very nice looking console. You've got all the little functions on here, radio, and it's all touchscreen and BP.
But then
now one feature this does come with, which is on a lot of these Super Minis now, well I say Super Minis, it's not really a Mini anymore like most cars these days. What was once a small car is now a large small car. But on this one, they found it fit that as the steering is not quite as light as they want it, but it is actually very light, they give you this button, the City button. Push that and the steering becomes ridiculously light. One thing that I am slightly surprised to see is that even though it's got this nice console, there's no CD player. You do have a plug down here for a USB, so you can listen to your iPod and everything like that, but I still think the majority of the population are using CDs. So it's a bit of a surprise that they haven't got one. Now, you might imagine for a car this size to be quite small in the back, but with this front seat in the position I would have it in driving, I've got quite a lot of knee room in the back here. It's as, dare I say, uncomfortable as the front, and the seatbelt, once on, does hold you quite well. It's comfortable enough as far as headroom is concerned, but longevity, it's going to hurt your bum. However, it does come, like a lot of modern cars these days, with the ISOFIX system, so a baby seat will slot straight in as long as you've got the ISOFIX baby seat. Now, inside the boot, you've got this solid floor on here, and the side here, you've got nothing. What you have is the side of the car. Now you could be mistaken for thinking, oh, extra storage bins, but no, you haven't. This particular car doesn't have a spare wheel. However, it does have the space for one. The problem is, these days, you get this, a load of gunk to stick in the tyre and get you out of the emergency situation, to a place where you can get a new tyre. Now, many moons ago, when you bought a car, you got a spare wheel. These days, you have to pay extra for it. And that is something I find disgusting. Now, if you're wondering if you can fit a human being in this boot, the answer is yes, you can. Oh, God. The trouble is whether you can get out of it or not. Now, I have been reliably informed by Vauxhall there is an engine in here. Oh, yes, there it is. It does have an engine. However, it does have a real engine, not that 3-cylinder thing that a lot of them have. This one does have 4 cylinders, so there is a bonus.
So this particular model comes with both the heated steering wheel and heated seats. It has a heated windscreen. I imagine it's got heated door mirrors as well, so winter driving would be exceptionally cosy with this car. It's actually quite nice considering its fullbacks with the seats. Steering is exceptionally good. You know, you change direction very quickly indeed. It really doesn't take much.
Thanks for that.
And the automatic gearbox, although smooth, doesn't inspire much sort of confidence. If you want to quickly pull away at a junction or whatever, it just kind of does nothing. But if you're going to give it some welly, it seems to just stay on in one gear. It doesn't want to change. They've got 6 gears there and it just holds it, for example. It revs the absolute nuts off of it.
Oh, that sounds nasty.
Which is not very nice at all. I think it could do with changing gears a bit quicker. So having tried the Tiptronic gearbox manual selection, it's a little uninspiring really. You don't really know when you need to change gear because it just revs like crazy. It needs to be in manual. So in manual mode, we're now in manual 5, but it's in manual 5 at 25 miles an hour. It's only got 6 gears. We'll put it in 6th. Well, it says shift denied. So it's not really manual at all, is it?
So what happens when you put your foot down in 5th gear?
Changes down to 3rd.
Oh, right. Oh, God, it's screaming.
But
help!
It stays in 3rd.
Now, as an option for this car, it does have a function that not only finds you a parking space, but parks the car for you. This car doesn't have that option, but it does have the city steering. So we're now going to demonstrate just how simple it is to park a car with the ultra-light steering.
So I'm now just going to throw this in a hole. Now this has really light steering anyway, which makes the city steering, unless you're 94 years old, completely pointless. It's so light, it's unbelievable. You can just literally throw it in a hole, even without city steer, and it beeps at you because you're near stuff.
And
I mean, look at that.
It's got the reverse camera.
Oh, reverse camera. And even without the reverse camera, that was really easy to park. Really easy.
And that was with normal steering.
Yeah.
So let's try again with city steering. Okay.
So with city steer on, remembering we've now got our camera, although I prefer to use the mirrors, that steering is unbelievably light. Yeah, you could blow it into the space. It's exceptionally good.
That means
really
there's
good.
never an excuse for a woman to complain about reverse parking ever again.
Because not only do you get your reverse camera, you get your
ridiculously light steering.
Yeah.
Everyone's a winner. But what this also has is a button up here that says on. Now that doesn't turn anything on, it's the OnStar function, which is the one that gets you out of trouble. And also SOS, which means if you have an accident or if you're in an emergency situation, you push that and it dials you straight through to the emergency services within Vauxhall.
It also has the function that if you were to have an accident and you're rendered unconscious, it will automatically contact the help service. If they get no response, they know there's a serious issue and they can send that information to the emergency services. If you're conscious, then you can answer and tell them what exactly the problem is, and therefore they can give the correct information to the emergency services before they arrive, rather than them having to figure it out when they get there.
Now, I don't think this would be a thorough test unless we tried that function out. So that brings us to the end of this episode of Motors for the Masses. Thank you very much for watching. If you do have a 2016-2017 Vauxhall Corsa, or are thinking of getting one, please let us know what you think in the comments below. Until then, thanks again for watching. Please drive carefully, but have fun. See you next time. Bye bye.